Hey, this is Lex, and you are listening to Lipstick and Liberation, a podcast from the Black feminist perspective, where I talk about social issues, political issues, art, entertainment, anything that comes to my mind and want to share with you guys. Thank you guys so much. I have reached 75 downloads, which is a big deal to me. I haven't really been marketing this super hard, just friends and family. So I really appreciate everybody who has taken some time out to listen to me. I've also reached the point in my platform where I can accept subscriptions. So for as low as $3 a month, if you want to help me with keeping the storage for these podcasts, I do have to pay for that. I would really appreciate it. If not, hey, I'm just happy to have you here. I also have a Buy Me a Coffee link. I'll let you guys know that I've been looking at podcast forums. So some of this stuff is all new to me, and I've been kind of trying to understand what other podcasters are doing because I literally started this on the fly. So I'm just throwing things at the wall and see what sticks. If you guys do want to support, you can support me there. My Facebook page has all those links. And again, like I said, it's just enough that you guys are here and listening. I also have fan mail enabled. So if you want to talk about something or send something in, you can definitely do that as well. You should be able to find all those links as well if you're on Apple Podcasts or on your podcast player. They should also have those options. So again, thank you guys so much for listening to me. Today, we're going to talk about a hodgepodge of things in this episode. I want to start out talking to the white women. White women. What is going on with y'all and Meghan Sussex? I am so tired of every time Meghan Sussex does something, you guys having a meltdown. You guys did not have a meltdown when Donald Trump got elected. You don't have a meltdown when our abortion rights get taken away. But let Meghan Sussex put a pot of spaghetti on the stove and giggle about Prince Harry, and you guys are up. You're in a tizzy, and I just don't get it. The obsession with her is so weird. I have a personal theory about it. I honestly think that a lot of it is that you guys felt like that was supposed to be a secure white wife job, and this half black lady got it, and it's eating you alive. It's eating you alive because her husband left the royal family and left everything he knew to move to the United States and give her the life that she deserved, because she was miserable and that was no longer a safe situation for her. And some of y'all can't even get your husband to take out the trash or get off the video games to let you get some rest. It's giving jealousy. It's giving like the projection. Everybody keeps calling her a narcissist. Like, why do you care what this woman is doing? She's not a political figure. She's just somebody that gets out there and talks. And she makes white women so angry, more angry than anything that actually impacts them. The only person that's impacted by her existence is Harry and her kids. Sure, every now and then we got to watch a television show, and it's optional. You have to log into Netflix and press play. Or see an interview, which again, you can scroll by. But she's not impacting anything we have going on economically or socially by existing. And y'all are so mad. I said on my TikTok today, like, y'all get so angry because she got her husband to leave the royal family and y'all can't get y'all husbands to leave MAGA. Y'all out here telling people you got to cancel out your husband's vote, and her husband canceled out his entire family to be with her. Knock it off. You gotta stop it. If you're not one of the women doing it, y'all need to check your peers and your family. I'm not going to worry about the British white women. They got a whole other relationship. I'm talking about the American white women who have nothing to do with anything. Prince Harry ain't even really our business like that. Yet they have taken time out to hate on this woman. That one drop of black blood got y'all working overtime. Check your racism. Check your jealousy. Check your husband. Check your husband that you're really mad at because he's not Prince Harry. He's not standing up to you when you guys go to his mom's house and she's sitting up there talking crazy to you. That's who you need to check because Meghan Sussex ain't did nothing to you. And her little spaghetti recipe is actually good. I've cooked that a few times. So y'all need to leave that lady alone and start cooking that spaghetti. Maybe y'all start smiling around your house too. Maybe your husband's hairline will start filling back in like Harry's did. But truly, I want y'all to let that lady alone. We're trying to build some gender solidarity here. And white women, y'all got to work on that racism. You got to work on that racism so we can start working on getting free. Because the patriarchy is out here whipping our behinds. And y'all out here worried about what Meghan Sussex is doing in her California kitchen with her cookware. You might be sitting there saying, well, Lex, what do we need to be worried about? What do we need to be worried about? What we need to be worried about right now is all this disturbing language about the declining birth rate. Every day you log on Twitter, and I know that Twitter, I'm not calling it that other name, But I know that the algorithm is controlled by Elon Musk, and so do not follow anybody conservative, but every day I log in, there's some more conservative stuff on my feed. And the conservative men are angry that women aren't getting pregnant. And they say men are the logical gender. They are the problem solvers. And I know white men mostly think this of themselves. But have they come up with any solutions to these problems that don't involve them continuing to oppress women? Of course not. Absolutely not. Because women have told them what we want. We want paid maternity leave. We want to be at home with our kids for at least 6 months paid. We want y'all to make companies pay for it. We want men to go to therapy. We want to not be punished in our careers when we have to take that 6 months off to stay at home with our child. We want family court to actually look into what is being said when we do have children and not tie us into co-parenting relationships with men who are not healthy and may not have demonstrated their lack of being healthy very clearly until after we had children with them. We got a few demands that actually make a lot of sense. Instead, all they're doing is taking away our reproductive rights and trying to figure out ways to trap us with men. Like, men are like, no, let's not be better. Let's just make sure that they can't go anywhere. Let's get rid of no-fault divorce. That's the problem. The problem is not that we are making it wholly unattractive for women to risk their lives to give birth to little human beings who can carry on our last names. The problem is actually that the women are able to leave, because once a woman signs up for life with us, after we put in all that work into tricking her into thinking she's a great guy for those couple of years, put the ring on her finger, let her have her dream wedding, and we finally got her, she needs to stay. She needs to stay and bear our children, regardless of how we behave. So we need to get rid of no-fault divorce. We need to get rid of abortion. When a woman gets pregnant, when a man does something to a woman's body, it needs to stay. A woman shouldn't have the right to end it because it's something a man did to her. And we need to keep women from going to college and reading books, because they need to know that their purpose is to give birth. That's men's solution to the declining birth rate. Their solution is to oppress, as always. And that's why I applaud all my sisters who are deciding to get sterilized, all my sisters who have decided not to have children, because this is not a country that makes it a great idea to have children. Not at all. This is one of the worst places to have children, in fact. And part of the reason it's one of the worst places to have children is because of how racist it is. If there was mostly white people in this country, like it was like 99% white, we'd probably have universal health care and paid maternity leave like other countries do. But because we happen to be the melting pot that we like to brag about when we talk to other countries about how great we are, and also when we talk about how you can get Mexican food here, because of that and because of white people's inherent fear that minorities are going to rise up and punish them for the horrible way that they have treated us pretty much since this country has started, from each and every non-white kind of person that's ever been here, we don't have universal health care or maternity leave because they don't want non-white people having babies. Really, this push is for white people. They care about the white population declining. So they're not going to do anything that might possibly help your black, brown, Chinese, Native American, none of that. None of you guys are getting anything. And so with that, they're just going to rest on the laurels of white wealth. So the desirable white people have children and the rest of us struggle to do so. But declining birth rates, so sad. It's actually fascinating to watch how patriarchy just refuses to accept these suggestions of people who actually do give birth on how to make this country a better place. And ultimately, that's because birth to men with that mindset is something that men do to women. Men get women pregnant, and they just want the right to be able to continue to get us pregnant and then continue to not have us terminate pregnancies, no matter how they behave, and to have babies and give the babies their names. Like, the less choice and comfort we have in it, the better. In a way, children are supposed to be like punishment for us having sex. That's the very puritanical Judeo-Christian kind of viewpoint. The American one is that, a woman letting a man do sex to her, she's going to get pregnant. And then that's also why they push natural birth, because you need to go through all the pain, experience all the pain, because you might have enjoyed the sex, maybe, just in case. And, I really, really wanted a child. I have one child, and I really wanted 3. But the way things worked out, I had the one, I got my tubes removed. But that experience, being pregnant, made me more pro-choice than I ever was beforehand. Because I remember at that time, I had been terminated from a job which I felt like I was wrongfully terminated. So while I was fighting to get that job back, I just picked up a bunch of jobs. Because as a woman, I don't feel secure if I don't have my own money Even though I had a husband at the time who was paying the bills, I have never been a woman who has trusted or relied on a man's money. I just don't think that that is a safe thing to ever do. So here I was with all these jobs, no time in on those jobs. And I did end up getting pregnant while I was fighting to get my other job back. So during that time, I'm pregnant with no time in, no benefits, barely any sick time built up. Do you know how, and I was elated. I fought so hard to get pregnant. It took me 19 months to conceive. So this was a very, very wanted pregnancy. And I still remember times where I would be like at the OBGYN office and they're like, that last part of the third trimester, you have to go in every week. And I would just be sitting there crying, trying to schedule my appointment around my two jobs that I did not have sick leave for to go to. Like I was new enough where missing work would impact my performance rating, new enough that I didn't have sick leave, like I said. And then the OBGYN office is only open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you have this super limited time. And that inconvenience, even just feeling that trapped, I thought, my God, what do women do who don't have anything else to fall back on? Do they just not go to these appointments if they absolutely can't miss work? What if somebody made me carry this pregnancy? What if I didn't even really want to be pregnant? And here I am expected to go to all these appointments, risk my job to go get checked out. And I don't even want to have the baby. They're going to force me to give the baby up for adoption. So I'm going to spend 9 months being uncomfortable and sick and not having enough sick leave to take care of myself. They make pregnancy in this country a struggle. Even the best case scenario, like I said, my pregnancy, I wasn't even sick really. I didn't have morning sickness or anything. Even with all of that, it was a struggle because I used my sick time to go to my doctor's appointment. So I can't imagine if I was somebody that was vomiting all the time or exhausted, how miserable and scary that would have been to be worried about getting fired while I'm pregnant, because we don't have any kind of built-in protections for pregnant women in this country. But we want them to have kids. We want you to have kids. The thing is, they don't want to make you having kids and having a job mix. They want you at home pregnant, relying on a man. All while making it almost impossible to live on one income in this country. So yeah, the girlies who are saying they're not going to have kids or who are not going to get pregnant, the girlies are right. They're correct. Because the United States does not deserve our labor. They do not deserve us putting our lives on the line to bring children into this world when there is no kindness, no thought for us as women on our comfort. We are life givers. The ones of us that want to give birth and are able to give birth, we are putting our lives on the line to bring new people into this world and to be offered nothing. Not only offered nothing, but have other people try to make it as hard on us as possible because they want to maintain control over us. The girls, they're right. Don't have children. If you truly do not want them, if you truly are not ready to sign up to sacrifice, be underappreciated, be mistreated, if having a kid doesn't mean that much to you, don't do it. People used to make it seem like it was something that every girl was just going to do. If you were born a girl, you're going to get married and have kids. That's just going to be a part of your life. And I love that women have said, nope, I'm looking around. You guys don't have any real incentives for me to do that. So I am not doing that. And please believe they're going to start threatening us with violence if we don't start giving birth. They are never going to do the things that is necessary to make this country better. I have firmly come to believe that after the re-election of Donald Trump. We are not going to get compassionate and real change to create a society where motherhood is something that is celebrated, provided for, and made easy for mothers. They'd much rather threaten us, take away our rights, and try to control us than give us the opportunity to bring life in a peaceful way that allows us to bond with children. All they're trying to pass along is trauma and bills. The way the economy is going, people aren't even going to have the kind of wealth necessary to even take care of kids. So again, shout out to the ladies, to the ones who have gotten sterilized, to the ones who have decided they're not going to have kids, to the ones who have had their kids and closed up shop. I just want to say I love you. I support you for making the decision. And you're right. This country doesn't deserve children. It doesn't deserve the givers of children. And we honestly need women in other places. We need women in more leadership places so that we can possibly make the changes necessary so that we can have a country maybe one day in the very far future. I don't know if I'll live to see it, but one day that is worthy of that. But we are not getting it while we have these conservative men running things because all they're obsessed with is trying to use their power to subjugate us. And it's brave and it's radical as a woman to choose not to have children. These are things that I never would have even considered when I was younger. Like, it never crossed my mind that I wouldn't have children or that I would grow up and think, oh my God, having children is not the best thing for women. Like, even with the propaganda we've been spoon-fed, even with being raised in a church, they fumbled and dropped the ball so badly with this generation of women that the brainwashing, it's worn off. The logic, the reality that we're living in, it can't even begin to stick for a lot of us. That's why the birth rate is going down. That's why we're seeing what we're seeing. And we're going to keep seeing it. It's what America deserves. And since we're talking about babies and about how subjugation is a part of that, I want to take some time and talk to the domestic violence girlies, the women who have left relationships with their child's father, the women who are co-parenting, parallel parenting, whatever you're calling it. I want to take a moment and tell you, you don't have to hang out with that man anymore because you guys have kids. You don't have to sit by them at your child's graduation. You don't even got to meet your grandkid in the delivery room at the same time. One of the things that patriarchy really tries to press on women is that once you have kids with a man, no matter how he behaves, no matter what he does, you still have to be the mature one and try to make your family work. Even if you guys break up, you're still supposed to extend the offer to have, family gatherings with this person. That's still your kid's dad. That's still their family. You can just let them have a separate life. That's literally the point of breaking up with a partner. Having a kid with them does not mean that you have to still be with them all the time, except you guys don't live together. Set boundaries. Don't let them brainwash you into thinking that being a good mother means sitting up and dealing with somebody that disrespected you in ways that you don't have to deal with them. You got to see them at pickups and drop-offs. That's fine. You don't have to make conversation. Keep it short. You got to be at an event with them. You don't have to sit by them. You can go sit on your side, go say hey to your kid. Go sit where you want to sit. Go do what you want. You're not obligated to pretend that the relationship is something that it wasn't. If you guys broke up and you're good friends and you want to sit there and kick it, that's totally fine. Though, I don't get how some people sit up and say they're friends with people that cheated on them and did a lot of horrible stuff to them. One thing about me, period, is I'm not a block spinner with relationships. Once I break up with somebody, I know I'm never getting back with them because that's how much I put into relationships. I've given you chances to get stuff together. I've talked to you about the issue. Once I break up with you, we're done. We don't have to be friends or anything like that because we weren't friends to start with. So I was never the type of person who was going to try to make that effort. I'll always be cordial and, just keep it respectful if we ended on a respectful note. I'm not going to be outwardly mean or try to start trouble with anybody because ultimately, who has time for that? We are out here both trying to parent our child. We are out here both trying to survive this economy. I don't want to make your life harder. There's no plus side in making the other parent's life harder. But we know oftentimes that men will do that to women. Sometimes it does happen when women do it to men, but men have way more power to do it to women because a lot of men hate being rejected. And they feel like they had a lot of power in the relationship when they had a kid with you. So they're going to do whatever they can to try to grasp back onto that. And part of that power is no matter how I treated you, this is still our kid and you need to treat me with respect and you need to sit with me and joke with me. I think about Damon Wayans when he was on Club Shay Shay and he was talking about how his ex-wife, he cheated on her repeatedly during the marriage. Then he never forgave her. When he was talking about paying her alimony, he was telling Shannon Sharp that he learned it's cheaper to keep her or cheaper to unalive her. So here he is talking about unaliving someone who all she did was be in a marriage with him and he cheated on her and then she didn't want to be in it anymore. He never at any time stated that she did anything in the marriage that was harmful to him. And I remember he was sitting around talking about they were at these family gatherings, repeatedly at these family gatherings. And then one day she came up and spoke to him and then now they're cool again. So he didn't even make the effort to apologize to her for mistreating her for the entirety of the marriage. The onus of being the mature, and I'm doing air quotes, the mature person fell back on her, the woman who was getting cheated on the entire marriage. So now they get along and she sits and talks to him. But understand that if she'd never come over to him, he would have never made the effort to be cordial to her or kind to her because he still doesn't want to be held accountable for the cheating. And that's what her coming over to him let him know, is that she's not going to try to hold me accountable. So now I can get along with her again. Because that's what many of them hate. Many of them hate that you remember how badly you treated them. They enjoy treating you badly. Don't get me wrong. They're not sorry that they treated you badly. And they would gladly do it again. But it's always when women are trying to make men feel bad for harming them. Because many of them, when they do that stuff to you, in their mind, they've justified it. You deserved it. So you're not going to turn around and try to make me feel bad for doing that. And if you do, I'm just not going to talk to you. I'm not going to deal with it, or I'm going to blame you. So once his wife or ex-wife was in a position to where she wasn't even going to try to hold him accountable for cheating on her multiple times, and she came over to him, that power play, she had to be the one to approach him. Now they get along. All I'm telling you, ladies, is you don't have to be that person. You can be the person that never goes over and approaches him. You could be the person that, hey, you meeting up with the kids? All right, you and the kids have a great time. I'm going to do something over here, and then I'll do something with the kids separately. That can be you. You don't have to compromise yourself. You don't have to let them off the hook for how they treated you, how they disrespected you as a person. You don't have to do that. That doesn't make you mature. You guys aren't family. You guys are related to the same kid. Family is something that is built. It's not just blood. Just like you can cut off an uncle and a cousin, you can cut off a baby daddy and an ex-husband too. Family doesn't hurt each other on purpose. So if your ex hurt you on purpose, you don't have to make nice with him for the kids. It's better that the kids see you stand on business. It's better that your kids learn that they don't have to stick around and be nice and friendly to people who mistreated them. Sometimes your kids saw this person play on you the whole time. Sometimes they witnessed it. And then to witness you turn around and come back and be laughing and giggling with them, and they never said sorry. They never apologized. People always say that's being a bigger person. That doesn't teach people to be the bigger person. That teaches people that teaches people they can do you any kind of way and you're not going to stand on business. And then they might think as a kid, well, maybe it's okay for people to mistreat me. Maybe it's okay for someone to be horrible to me. And then I'd go ahead and turn around and just go hang out back with them without them taking accountability. Those are the lessons we're passing on. So I'm going to leave on that note. Just remember that, ladies, it does not make you mature to hang out with your child's father. If he was horrible to you, you don't have to. Do what you got to do to get the kids to and fro, but you don't have to make small talk or be friends with somebody who was terrible with you, regardless of if you share kids. On the contrary, show your kids how to set boundaries. So if their parent is awful to them too, they don't get a lifetime of trauma on top of everything else, trying to be the bigger person themselves. On that note, thank you guys so much for listening. Please, if you want to, subscribe. I love being able to talk to you guys. I love having you guys listen. Like I said, you can hit my fan mail with suggestions. You can find me on TikTok at Crazy Lexi Cool. I'm always doing mini snippets of different kind of topics, always talking about women's rights, Black people's rights, freedom. And I'm going to keep talking about it for as long as I got breath in my body. Thank you for listening.